In this video, I will show you how to put together this Peking Santa card, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. So here are the pieces to the Santa card. We have this. This is the optional panel. You can use these optionally. It'll show you two versions. If you want these, you don't have to include this, but this is everything. I'm going to show you all of it together. Then we have the card pieces. So this is just folds like this, and then we'll put together the card after we piece together some of these items here. This will go like this, and then this folds like that. It's going to fold up like this. So we have that set to go. So here, go ahead and put that aside. We'll put this, we'll take the Merry Christmas and put that aside for now and deal with these little pieces. So we have this Merry Christmas. This will go like this, and then we'll have how this goes together in just shortly. But let me show you a couple of versions of the card. So we have, this is the full version of it, which has the panel in the back, and then it folds like this to sit out, so you can see like that. So from the front, it looks like that. If you don't want to go so intricate, and I have done this already, and this one, I had little issues, but this one is one I made specifically for my mother. And then we have this version, which I kind of like it without, this is a simpler version. It still takes, you still have to layer this, but this doesn't have this green piece. Oops. And even if you use the green piece, you wouldn't need to use a panel back there. So that's up to you. And then I just like the colors on this one. So you can see how you can change it up and make it simpler. So you could probably make a lot more of these, and then I just used an embossing panel on this. So that's another version. So we'll show you how to put together now. So we have here the Merry Christmas, and I did leave little pieces in here. So if you do, I guess on a Cricut you use like an intricate cut. I'm not sure on a silhouette, but it does cut out. But if you have little pieces like that, a little tool like this helps. You could use vinyl as well to place it down. That's up to you. But for this one, it's just using a fine tip applicator. I am using mostly American Craft textured cardstock. Oops, don't do that. I'm using Barely Art glue with this little fine tip applicator. So we'll put the Mary down. So you just want to kind of get it in the center here, like this. And you can kind of guide it with the Y and the M. And then the little edges here for this outline. See a little piece back there, but that's not going to show. So this is probably the glue part. Doing this, and then I'll show you how to put that little berries on if you're going to use the green piece. Just make sure also you get the green eye. So let me get I had it in another place. So if you do lose it, because there's the eye, so I have it in here. I put everything in a little cup. I'll just make sure I don't lose my small pieces. You could always put like a dot of, I've seen people use different things. They've used pens. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen. I've seen people use like 3D mediums, like a little, what's that called? Like a 3D dot thing, or I've seen people use rhinestones. But anyways, if you can find it, just go ahead and make sure you put them in. If you don't have anything like this, you can use it. Make one of these. It's an embellishment bowl. It's one of our freebies. It's simply craftysvgs.com. So we have the Merry Christmas. We do have to put together the Santa, but let's go ahead quickly and put the little berries on here. We already did it on one. So I usually cut out, I would recommend you cut out more berries than you need. Like I did 2 sets of them just in case I lost one while I was putting them on. So I have 5 here with the textured side up. I'm just going to pop them on. Going to do a couple and then just make sure they're lined up by picking it up. I can't see as well, especially when I'm filming because of the angle I have to be for the video sometimes. Got a little glue on my fingertips there. Let me re-glue these. So I just pick them up with the tweezers. Like that. And that one I didn't get centers. It's okay if it's not perfect. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put those on in a minute. Let's go ahead and layer the Santa. So the Santa, excuse me, we'll start with the black, this piece, that, and then these will all be, this will go on this. So I did take this in vanilla, what I cut it out of, and I just inked it with a little pink. So I was using picked raspberry to ink it with just oxide, and I had a little bit excess on there, and all I did was kind of hold it down and ink it like this on a, typically I don't do it on my desk, but so that's how I made that pink. So let's go start with the big black piece here. Try not to put the glue too close to the holes. Just line it up so that they'll get our eyes showing through. And then we'll do the vanilla or whatever. This is the close, for me, this is the color I use a lot for faces. Just line it up on the left and right. And then this white piece. So if you do like this video, I ask if you can give me a little thumbs up or the like on the video, and or subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. We'll continue lining up. Then we'll go ahead and pop this there. Pop the nose on. Oops, that's not what we want to do. Sorry about that. I'm going to pop the nose on that one. I already got glue on the back, but fortunately wasn't paying attention there. If you don't pay attention to your layers, that can happen. And that goes right there. And then we can put the red piece and then the little white piece. So this is quite small. You could enlarge it and put it on a bigger card if you wanted to. Use the Santa. You can mix and match and put them on different projects. So, and then we want to go ahead and add these little berries. So you can put it on the back of this if you wanted to. It'll be easier, I suppose. You have to pay attention to where you're lining them up. So you want to focus on where the little berries are. And then there's a little round. You can follow the stem. Oops, it's this side first. Same thing. You can see where to place it based on the stem. Then on the other side, it's the other way. Just put a little dot of glue, just very lightly on the back. Line it up. And then again, it's optional. You don't have to use this. But let's go ahead and go to the card now. Real quick, and then we'll put it all together. So if you take the card, we already pre-folded it, and you see that I did a valley fold here and a mountain fold like that in the front. This like this. And I want this to go, I actually want this to go right here. And the reason why I wanted to glue it there is so this panel, if you have it, hides it. If you can always do it underneath here too. That's your preference. I mean, it's up to you. It's probably easier that way, but then when you open the card, you see it. So you might want to cover it. So it's either one or the other. So the way I want to do it is this way. So I'm going to flip it over to make it easier to glue together. I'm going to line it up. I want to make sure it lines up properly, and you'll see what I mean. So these are both upside down right now. So the textured side's down. The front of the card's down. So I'm going to line this up to the tab fold edge, but I want to make sure it's straight. So when I fold it over, does it line up on the left and right? Yeah, it does. And then now I know that I can go ahead and really get some pressure on it. So now the card will fold like this in the envelope. It's a standard A2 size. Now, this is the benefit of using at least one panel. And that's why I said either this panel or the other panel, if you don't want to have this back panel. So I embossed this with a snowflake embossing folder from Jerry's. There's lots of them out there these days. Some are retired that I have, but this one may still be out there. So I could have glued the other one on before, but I think it was easier for me to put this down and center it first, and then place the other one over it. So I don't want to get glue on that, so I'm going to move that to the side. Flip this over, add some glue around the edges. Could have kept it simple, just not put this on there, but I don't know. It was just one of those things that I thought it would be fun. And so I'm just adding glue a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be on everything. It's just to hold it down a little bit. The back of those little berry pieces are the thickest, but they don't have to be all glued down. So that's something. This is not the same exact size. It's slightly smaller. It's the size of the outside. It's actually it's the size of the, this lines up to the actual card front, or the card, okay? The other one is smaller, but big enough so you don't see the edges. So there's that. And then we can take this piece, this panel. I'm going to glue this on here. You want to center it to this bottom part. Then everything else, it'll show you how to place the Santa above that. And we're going to put the Merry Christmas on too. So I'll just center that. And then we just need to take the Santa head, place it down. Just line it up. And that really gets, with the thickness of it, really gives it dimension. So there's no need to pop up anything, in my opinion. Although you could pop up. I did pop off the hands on one of them. Make sure the thumbs are in towards the face of the mittens. There we go. So they'll finish that, and we just need to add it to the card. So as you can see the difference, I popped these up. Oops. I popped them up here with little foam tape there. And this one I didn't. So it's not a huge difference. And if for some reason you want it not to be as visible, you could ink these edges a little bit. Okay, now we can go ahead and place this right here. You can see like that one. Just going to place it on this bottom and just line up where the corners are. So you want to add glue right down here. Don't want to add it to the back of that panel. Just this. So I intentionally made a simpler, even though it's a lot of layers, something a little simpler that you could make a little bit more cards quickly. It's still a lot of pieces, but like I said, you can omit the green border if you like. But the only thing that really takes a lot of times on that is the little berries and that kind of thing. So it's lined up, so now it'll close. And if you want to get it to close tighter, you can kind of fold it, put some, really get it, you know, it becomes a little thick of a card. But to let it, so it sits up a little bit closer, you can continue to fold this a little bit tighter. So that's the only thing that I would suggest. So the person that receives it can easily place it up so it looks like that. Like that. It gives a dimension when it's sitting up on the table. So again, here's the 3 different versions that I made. So you can see you can get much different looks with without the panels, with the panels, and with the different color changes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I thank you so much for watching.